Alrighty, guys, I'm a little out of breath, leaving the gym, and I don't have a lot of time. I'm on my way home, and I'm taking the kids out to Chipotle. I promised them Chipotle tonight. My wife and kids are about to go on vacation with my in-laws, so I'm not going to see them for a little while. So I want to knock this out really quick while I'm thinking about it. Today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like for a police officer when you get hurt and you go on restricted duty. And I also want to give you guys an update on my personal situation with my injuries, my knee and stuff like that. The two topics are very, very tied together. So quick update on my knee. I wanted to give you guys an update a week and a half ago, but I was about to go on vacation and I didn't want to announce ahead of time that I was going to be out of my house just because I'm, weird about that. So I had an MRI and I got the results back. I don't know, now it's about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. Can't remember the timeline specifically, but went to the doctor. At the time, I really couldn't even bend my leg. My knee was swelled up like 3 times its normal size. It was nasty looking. It hurt a lot. Got my MRI, and that was going to tell me whether or not, 1, I got to take a vacation with my family, 2, if I was going to need surgery, if I was going to get to go back to work, 3, if I was going to get to ride Pelotonia, which I was really looking forward to doing. So I went and got my MRI. The doctor came back to the room and he said, "Hey, good news." He's like, "Nothing major, nothing that needs surgery." I had a torn PCL. I have partially torn and frayed meniscus. And I had a giant hematoma under my kneecap. The PCL, I guess, is one of those things that as long as it's not bothering you, you don't need to get surgery. I don't play like soccer or anything that I'm doing a lot of cutting left and right. Usually if I'm going anywhere, I'm going in a straight line. And for the type of cutting and things that I need to do, my MCL, my ACL should be enough to support me. So I don't need to get surgery on that. The meniscus is something that over time might start to hurt. That's something that you can worry about in the future. The large hematoma that I had under my kneecap was the main problem. It was 4.5 centimeters, so it's like that big. It was under my kneecap, so it was like pushing my kneecap. It's pushing my kneecap out and off to the right hand side. So when I tried to bend my knee, my kneecap was actually on the side of my leg a little bit. I'm exaggerating, but you kind of get the point. Your kneecap sits like this. There's a water balloon under it pushing it out. What that did is it made my patella tendon extremely tight. So my leg was constantly in the out position. If I tried to bend it, that tendon that goes over top of your kneecap, it was already stretched as high as it'll go, so it wouldn't allow me to bend my knee. I couldn't bend my knee, and with the kneecap kind of off to the side, made it very painful. The good news is that hematoma will eventually just get absorbed back into my body. The swelling has gone down in the last 2 weeks significantly. If you're looking at me straight on and you look at my 2 knees and you compare them, you'll definitely see swelling in my right knee. It's definitely still a little uncomfortable and still in a little bit of pain, but it's not unbearable like it was before. And I'm able to exercise. It was funny. The doctor initially, he goes, "Hey, you have no restrictions. You want to cycle? You can go cycle. You don't need surgery. Let's just wait for that hematoma to go back down. We'll get you in a couple weeks, monitor it for infection, and you'll be good to go." I said, "Oh, no restrictions. That means I get to go back to work." He started laughing. He goes, "Well, what do you do for a living?" I said, "I'm a police officer." He said, "I know you're a police officer. Because does your job ever require you to run, jump, go upstairs, downstairs, anything like that in a hurry?" And I said, "Well, of course it does." Then he goes, "No, you can't go back to work." I was like, son of a bitch. So he put me on restricted duty. Now, a lot of people, when I posted a picture on Instagram and Facebook the other day saying that I was trying to get the doctor to release me back to full duty, people said a lot of things like, "I hope you enjoyed your time off. I know you don't get a lot of that." And people were saying, "Why rush back? Enjoy your time off. I would milk this as long as possible." That was a lot of the things that people were saying. I realized that to a large degree those people were joking, but I wanted to kind of explain that because when I hurt myself off duty, that means that anytime I had away from work, I had to use my sick time. Your sick time is very precious because if something happens to you, like let's say I get cancer down the road or I have a heart attack or something and I need to take several weeks off work, I need to preserve my sick time as long as possible. So since my injury was off duty, while I was off work, I was using my own time banks. I needed to get back to work at a minimum on restricted duty so that I could preserve my banks. As a police officer, when you're on restricted duty, you can't do your job. You know, a lot of people, and like my jobs that I've had in the past, if I had a bum knee, I could still go to work. I could still talk to my clients, you know, do all that kind of stuff. As a police officer, you can't. I got to be able to get in and out of cruise really fast. Got to chase people, yada, yada, yada. So I had to go back on restricted duty. Restricted duty for me meant I had to go to headquarters, had to answer phones and take reports from people that walked up. When you go to, I'll just call it the admin office. When you're up there, it sucks. You're up there with other people who have been hurt. One of my buddies that went through a very serious illness about a year and a half ago, he was up there, which it was good to see him. But you get people that have been hurt, so they're uncomfortable, they're disgruntled, they're grumpy. You're also up there with people who are in trouble. You know, when an officer gets in trouble and gets put on desk duty, he's in the same place as the people that are like injured, same place as people like me. There were also two people up there that were out of a recent academy class. One of them had been fired. The other one went through coaching and decided that he was going to resign because the big city was too scary for him. So those were the people that I was up there with. The injured guys were cool. The other people, not so much. Not something I enjoy doing. The other kind of frustrating or crappy part about that is my normal shift, I work 7A to 3P. As long as I'm at work at 5 minutes till 7, I'm good to go. I'm on time. I try to get there quarter till or 10 till. Sometimes I'm pushing it a little bit close, and it is what it is. When I was working in the patrol admin office, I had to be there at 6. But the crappy thing is, you know, I work in a large city. Headquarters is downtown. Parking is at a premium. You can't park at headquarters. When you're down there, you have to park at a substation that's a couple miles away and ride a shuttle bus into headquarters. That means in order to get to work at 6, I have to be in the parking lot for the shuttle bus at 5:30. That means I had to leave my house at like 10 after 5 in the morning, where I usually leave my house at 6:30 in the morning. So that means I have to either get up really early or I had to skip breakfast, and just my whole schedule to start off, I didn't enjoy it. The other part is that in order to get back to my car at the end of the day, I had to take the shuttle from headquarters back to that same parking lot. I would get off at 2 o'clock, get on the shuttle. I wouldn't even get to my car until 2:30. So I didn't get home until roughly the same time that I get home now when I get off at 3. So I'd have to go in an hour and a half earlier, and I'd get home, like basically my 8-hour day or my 8.5-hour day with travel turn into a 10-hour day because of the shuttles and stuff like that. So I don't know, it sucked. And then when you're up there, when the phones aren't ringing, it's boring. When the phones are ringing, it's stupid. Just not a lot of fun. Being on a restricted duty, it sucks. The good thing that happened to me is that I did have a week of vacation right in the middle of my restricted duty. Prior to getting my MRI results, I was terrified. My wife was terrified. My kids were damn near in tears because we thought that my knee was going to be completely blown out. I was going to need immediate surgery, and we were going to have to cancel our vacation. The way it works at my job, starting in like November and December, we start making calendar picks for the next year. On the first of the year, we turn in our calendar and we pick by precinct based on seniority. You get a certain number of days per year that per our union contract, I can select as annual vacation, and nobody can cancel that vacation. Unless there's like a nuclear holocaust or something like that, I get to go on that vacation. My employer cannot stop me. We were very concerned that I was going to get bad MRI results and we're going to have to cancel that vacation. Luckily for us, we were able to take that vacation, and I was under no restrictions. So I was able to go to the beach with my kids, you know, all those things, ice it up at night. The nice thing is, every single day, my knees started to get better and better and better, to the point where when I got home from vacation, I had 2 more days before my next doctor's appointment, and I was able to go into my doctor's appointment, tell him, hey, look, take me off restriction. I want to go back to work. I'm good to go. He looked at me, he bent my knee around, made sure I wasn't in too much pain, that I making sure that he couldn't put me in more pain than I can handle, I guess you could say. And he released me back to work. So went back to work yesterday. I worked yesterday and today. My knee is a little bit sore at the end of the day. It's a little bit stiff. It's still a little bit swollen, but it's not a big deal. So I am back at work. I am happy. My life is back to normal. And the other thing I wanted to mention when it comes to, sorry, my nose hairs are really long and it's tickling me. I know it's weird, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you become an old man. The other thing about me taking as much time as I need and, you know, playing hooky and just picking it up and relaxing and all that, you have to remember, I work on a unit of 10 guys. There's a total of 10 of us. We need 5 guys per day. The other guys have vacations that they want to take, that they've planned with their kids. We have another guy that was injured, you know, and things are going to come up. Plus you have training and things like that. Another one of my buddies is at like a 2-week long training for police work. So the longer that I took off, the less freedom my buddies that were back at work had. There were days where my precinct was running with only 2 officers. You know, we normally have 5, and they only had 2 officers because we had me injured, we have another guy injured, another guy on training, and then another guy on his annual vacation with his kids. I wanted to get back to work as quick as possible so that there would be more guys working, because I don't like my buddies having to be at work working a precinct that normally has 5 people, and they're trying to carry the load with just 2. That's not safe. If they need backup, there's no backup. It's very stressful. They're going balls to the walls from, you know, opening bell and closing bell. It's just not a lot of fun. I've been on the other side of that, and it's not something that you enjoy. It's something that you do, and like, if, you know, there were times last year, I think we were down 2 jobs, you know, because people moved positions in the department. Then we had like a couple injuries, whatever. There might be days where you only have 2 people and you just have to make do. And I never complain about being short, because I don't want people to complain about me when I'm the one that's out and they're short because of me. At the same time, if I am going to be out and they're going to be short, I have to be respectful towards them and get back as soon as I can. So that's the biggest reason that someone like me is not going to milk an injury like that. There are people who have a reputation, people on the department who have a reputation of needing a surgery every summer, right when it's like vacation time for everybody. This person needs a surgery, or they also might need a surgery right in time for the Christmas holiday. There are people that do that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is dirty. If you do that, you're gonna have a bad reputation with your friends. You're actually not gonna have very many friends. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be a good guy. I want to do my job, be an asset to the city, be an asset to the citizens that I serve, and most importantly, I want the respect of the people that I work with. So those are all of the reasons that I came back to work when I came back to work, and I am not going to milk this injury any longer. So I hope you all enjoyed that little explanation. I hope you understand kind of how the world works a little bit better. That's all I want to say. I'll talk to you guys later.